islands in the Marianas designated for landings by United States forces, Tinian was the smallest in size. Separated by a narrow channel from Saipan, Tinian lies almost directly south of Saipan and north of Guam. During the attack on Saipan, the island of Tinian was closely observed and studied. One battalion of Corps Artillery had the mission of neutralizing Tinian airfield and destroying located targets. Daily plane strikes and naval gunfire bombardments were executed on Tinian. Frequent photo coverage flights were flown. Valuable intelligence data of Tinian was captured on Saipan. When the capture of Saipan neared its final stage, there was considerable information available pertaining to Tinian and enemy units thereon. About 2 miles northwest of Fabius and Hilo Point are beaches White 1 and 2. They are about 150 yards wide with a usable width of about 60 yards. Usable length about 120 yards. This entire section is fringed by a reef 50 to 100 yards wide and is generally free of surfs. Late observation reports showed that there were no underwater obstacles with the exception of a few holes and small boulders. While no type of craft can actually be landed on the beach itself, it was believed that LCVPs and LCPIs could land men within 50 yards of the shoreline. Waterproof field vehicles, tanks, and LVTs, it was believed, could be landed on the smooth part of the reef in front of both beaches. Shoreline for 100 yards south of beaches White 1 and 2 consists of rough, rocky cliffs, ranging from 6 to 10 feet in height, and which would be difficult to scale without ladders or cargo nets. The bottom of the cliffs is undercut by the action of the sea, while the face of the cliffs is rough and sharp. There appeared to be only a few breaks in the cliffs, and these breaks would permit men to proceed inland in single file only. All of the arable land on Tinian is cultivated for sugarcane. This amounts to approximately 90% of the total area of the island. Principal towns are Tinian Town, situated on Tinian Harbor, and 2 small villages around Yushi Point Airfield. A well-developed rectangular road system connects Tinian Town with Yushi Point Airfield. The primary roads are hard surfaced, being constructed of coral, and are approximately 18 feet wide. They roughly circle the island. Secondary dirt roads serving the cane fields lead to the primary roads. Paths and trails probably follow most of the head roads dividing the cane fields. A lighthouse is located on the southwest shore about 1/2 mile south of Tinian Town. A narrow gauge 30-inch railway connects the airfields with Tinian Town. The 2 piers at Tinian Harbor can accommodate only small craft. It was apparent from captured operations orders, battle plans, and field interrogations that the enemy had not given serious consideration to the possibility of our landing on the northwest coast, white beaches of the island, and it was clear that our landings there could be achieved with complete tactical surprise. It was believed that the enemy forces and strength, troop dispositions, and planned scheme of maneuver against landings on Tinian on Jig Day was as follows. Northern Sector Force. Its sector embraced the northern tip of the island, the Yushi Point Airfield, known as Airfield 1, and the Osega Bay area. Southern Sector Force. Its sector of defense embraced the area roughly south of Mount Lasso, including Airfield 2, the Tinian Harbor area, and the southern part of the island. Western Sector Force. Its sector embraces the northwestern section of the island and included the White Beaches. The artillery battalion attached to the 50th Infantry Regiment had 12 75mm guns and consisted of 3 batteries. One battery was to be in the Tinian Harbor area, one battery in the Asiga Harbor area, and one platoon in the White Beaches area. The reserve consisted of one battalion, less one company, and one anti-tank gun squad, and its disposition was believed to be in the Mount Lasso area. Mobile Counterattack Force, Naval and Aircraft Forces, Headquarters Units. These forces totaled 8,900 men and were commanded by the commanding officer of the 50th Infantry Regiment, Colonel Ogota, as Tinian Island's commander. Enemy's scheme of maneuver. Each sector force, northern, southern, and western, would be prepared to destroy the enemy at the beach, but also be prepared to shift 2/3 of the force elsewhere. Northern Troops and Landing Force, Task Group 56.1, in conjunction with Northern Attack Force, Task Group 52, was given the following mission. On Jig Day, land, seize, occupy, and defend Tinian Island in order to obtain the use of that island and destroy the enemy thereon. All troops involved in the Tinian operation were commanded by Major General Harry Schmidt, United States Marine Corps, Commanding General, Northern Troops and Landing Force. Organization. Corps Troops, Detachment of the 5th Fib Corps Headquarters Troops. 4th Marine Division, reinforced. 2nd Marine Division, reinforced. 27th Infantry Division, reinforced. 24th Corps Artillery and Garrison Forces. Task assignment. The 4th Marine Division, reinforced to land at Howe Hour Jig Day, 2 regiments abreast on beaches White 1 and 2, seize Objective 01, then on division order, make main effort in direction of Mount Lasso and seize the FBL. The 2nd Marine Division, reinforced, land on order in rear of 4th Marine Division, reinforced, on beaches White 1 and 2, move to assembly positions to be designated, prepare for offensive operations on order. The 27th Infantry Division, reinforced, less 105th Infantry and Division Artillery, be prepared to embark in landing craft on 4 hours' notice and land on order on beaches to be designated. 24th Corps Artillery, in general support the landing on beaches White 1 and 2, and subsequent operations from initial position at the southern portion of Saipan. Massed fires to be in support of assault units. Coordinate naval gunfire and air support with artillery fire. Garrison forces initiate anti-aircraft defenses and airfield repairs and execute base development missions. Demonstrations groups be on station at sunrise, Jig Day, in vicinity of Transport Area 2, execute diversionary feint at landing on Blue Beach at Howe Hour in order to deceive the enemy regarding the primary point of attack and to immobilize its reserves. Keep ships outside effective range of enemy shore battery, but send boats in as close to reef as tactical conditions would permit. At 1000, return to Transport Area 3 and report to Commander, Transport Group. Direct control vessels report to Screen Commander for duty. Direct LCIs report to CTU 52.2.3. Naval Gunfire Support Mission. Prior to Jig -1 day, destruction, harassing, interdiction, and neutralization fire to be executed over a continuing period of time in such density as will be permitted by the ammunition available. Jig -1 day, counter battery fire, area bombardment, and interdiction fire commencing at daybreak and continuing throughout the day with a mission to destroy remaining enemy installations, to destroy or prevent occupation of caves, and to break up enemy troop concentrations. Close supporting fire will be provided to cover beach reconnaissance by the underwater demolition teams and operations of the mine-sweeping groups off Tinian Town. All avenues of approach leading from south to north will be interdicted to prevent any enemy movement into the landing area. Jig Day counter-battery fire commencing near dawn and intensive destructive fire, including close-range battleship and heavy cruiser main battery fire, on beach defenses and installations until lifted by order. Supporting fires will be furnished in the vicinity of Sanharan Harbor to cover the demonstration. The leveling of Tinian Town will be completed. Interdiction fire will be delivered on roads and trails south of the FPL to prevent the movement of enemy reserves from the southern part of the island north past the FPL. Call fires on targets of opportunity controlled by shore fire control parties after they have landed. Aircraft support mission. Aircraft of Task Force 52 will provide air support for the capture of Tinian. Aircraft of Task Force 59.1 based on Saipan, as directed by Commander's Support Aircraft, will be utilized in support of the Tinian operation insofar as is tactically practicable, consistent with their main primary mission. Propaganda leaflets ordered dropped on Tinian prior to Jig Day. Strikes on Tinian prior to Jig -1 day will be made as directed by CTF 52. Since no specific plan can be made for air support acquired after Jig +2 days, air support will be requested on the afternoon of the day previous. Special shore-to-shore instructions were designed to prescribe a means of establishing 2 divisions ashore on Tinian by an assault in column of divisions on a restricted 3-battalion front. The order: 4th Marine Division, 2nd Marine Division. The following priority was established. Priority 1, 4th Marine Division combat elements. Priority 2, supplies by LVTs and ducks. Priority 3, completion of movement of 4th Marine Division equipment and the beginning of lifting of 2nd Marine Division. Priority 4, movement of the 2nd Marine Division.